Yeah, like I always tell people, there's a lot of power behind listening. It's really
Oh
hard.
yeah.
It's really hard for people to listen, and that's sometimes that be all. That's all they really need, right? They want to be heard. Like the one thing that I learned that I think a lot of experts or people that may have read books or even gone through this is that there are certain words that can help carry over to that soothing or whatever it is that they need. It's because you can say one word, you can just throw everything off. So I think that you have to be. So it's kind of almost like you have to phrase things in a certain way so that they receive. I was having, I, there's somebody that I speak with, and I just try to do more listening because no matter what I say, I haven't figured them out yet. I haven't figured out how to really tell them what I need to tell them or what I want to tell them without them getting offended or trying to like they get elevated too quickly. Like there's a lot going on. I can't really explain what's going on, but I just know that they just having a hard time for whatever reason being able to accept advice or to even have like a dialogue where it's not coming off like they know everything. Like I know this, I know that, and it's just like I'm just gonna listen. It's one of the moments where I'm just gonna listen. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna keep listening to you, and I just got to eat it up until I figure out how to actually tell you what it is I need to do. Because I mean, they clearly are processing some things, and they need to go ahead and try to figure it out. And I may not just be that person to be able to help them with it.
Or they just perceive anything that comes out of your mouth as an attack. So what is it that they want somebody to just listen and that be it, and not try to coach them through it or offer any advice? Like, I think you're right. You need to figure them out in terms of just what do they need in order to kind of just affirm them or let them know that you're present there with them, and that you're not trying to judge them.
Yeah, I don't think they look at it as an attack. They just get like real like defensive about everything, but not as an attack against me, but it's
Mm-hmm.
like they're telling themselves this, and when they tell themselves this, it makes them feel better, and they're not open to want to hear anything from anybody else at that particular time because they've already told themselves this. They've already processed it this way. So this is what they need. And if anybody else come in with any additional information, that's not what they want to hear because they've already said that this is what I need. This is what's going to work for me. There's anything anybody else can really add that's going to make a difference. I know what I need to do, and this is the way it's going to be. So it's one of those things that again you just got to listen and I don't. It's a time and place for everything. I'm pretty sure that you go through it when you doing like your sessions. Sometimes you may have to table something to next time because it just ain't really that time. You probably had a whole way you was gonna do things today, and then
Mm-hmm.
based off at a conversation when it's like, you know what, I'm gonna have to do a audible, and this is what we want to do. Or you may left and be like, man, I want to do so much, but there's power in listening. Sometimes listening may be the session.
Honestly, that's the most healing comes from the part when you're listening.
Yeah. Just try not to fall asleep.
Nah, you hear some real crazy stories. It's difficult to fall asleep on some of these.
Oh yeah, some may be, but depending on the person, if they tired, they just tired. They just I should be
Yeah.
called off today because the way you man. It used to be a time when I was younger, like the best sleep used to be in church
Mm,
and when I was in college in lecture.
mm,
I was going to eat like econ 101, 102. I just said, I don't even know why I'm even coming to this class. I said, I just go to sleep. I just stopped going. Because I just go to sleep. I said, what's the point of going? And I passed directly out. So I'm gonna have to I was self-aware. I was wasting time by going there because I was doing the same thing. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna chill out. I think I want to drop in that class. But I would go there and go to sleep. I would
that
try
makes
to stay
sense.
focused and I'd be sitting there like, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna get real. I'm just gonna lock in. And I used to sit right there in the balcony. And I used to be looking, I'm like, getting tired. And then I start to slouch down a little bit and I get lower, lower my head, just be like this.
It's a
In,
wrap.
in your opinion, Nelson,
when people like, so we run into this, like the comments of
the story wasn't nothing, Mark. It was a joke, Mark. It's a joke.
I ain't hear the last part.
No, I was saying that I guess my story went on. You asked me no follow-up questions, and then you just get right past it and wait on me to finish. Let me get back to Nelson. I got no expertise. I ain't got no value to add. Shit, he was, I don't know why he even brought that example in. It's cool.
Hey, that's because he from out west, JR. He from out west. He on Madison and Pulaski, dog.
Yeah. I mean, I gave my all when I said that too, man. I thought I was really going somewhere. I thought y'all was engaged. But I should have known when I ain't seen nothing in the chat because when nobody even saying anything. Person respond to it. So I guess
I'm still in the marinade.
Yeah, man. Go ahead, Marcus and Nelson. I gotta just work on this shit.
That was so JR, I'm gonna
go read some books so I can just learn how to articulate a little bit better. You know, maybe.
I appreciate you sharing that story, brother. I apologize for my.
We just talk about the power of listening, and I didn't feel heard.
That's what I'm saying. I appreciate you sharing that story.
Jana's listening. Dale's laughing. The Jews, which he always laughing. It's a tough time right now, man. I was being vulnerable, opening up, man. But y'all go ahead.
Pause.
All right, so Nelson.
HR.
No pause one. Was it Trey?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Y'all go ahead.
Oh man.
All right, go ahead, Marcus. My bad.
All right, so to the people in the chat who be saying like, "You're gonna let her say this? Stop her now." How beneficial is it to a conversation to interrupt somebody in the middle of their thought to check them?
Oh, I don't like that at all, to be honest.
Well, not check. I think the big thing is when they say that I didn't say that, or they feel like that they're misquoting them.
Like cutting them off because you're saying you're being misquoted.
Yeah, or like you don't have to finish what you're saying because what you're saying is something that I didn't say, and you're going to be wasting your time by saying it because I never said it. So they'll try to stop you because you misquoted them, and then also stopping you because it's just a waste of time.
No, or to add on to that, or the people who you about to say something you don't think they should be saying, like they are about to list the stat that's incorrect or run with a narrative. How beneficial is it to stop that before they can start?
I mean, I guess in general, I just always think that like if you're going to say something wrong, I want you to get your whole thought out so that way I can rebut it and like kind of just thoroughly destroy your argument. Because if you interrupt them when they're in the middle of a stat, they're always going to have that like plausible deniability to say that I wasn't going to say that, or that's not what I mean. Like so I always think it's just better like get your complete thought out, unless it's something that's like flagrantly like just wrong or disrespectful to the point where it's like you're about to say something that is putting a narrative out about a whole group of people, those types of things. But if they're just going to throw out a bad stat, I want them to get their whole thought out so that way we can correct it and, don't have to just really destroy the argument.
Can you give an example of what you think something would be destructive enough that they should be stopped?
50% of men abuse their partner. I don't think that's something that I don't think anybody should let that slide.